Back to follow-up segment tonight. President Obama threatening to veto the military spending bill. The House and Senate allotting $612 billion with a B in national defense spending. But Mr. Obama wants a guarantee that if he signs the authorization for the money, he can lift caps on domestic spending projects he wants. So once again, the bills get tangled up in politics, just like Kate's Law. With us now, the co-authors of the new book, Extreme Ownership, How U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win, Lieutenant Commanders Jocko Willenick and Leif Babin. Commander Babin is the husband of Fox News anchor Jenna Lee. Lucky you, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the military in general, I assume both of you guys follow military news closely. Where are we? Is the U.S. military on the downside? What's going on?
We're definitely on the downside, and I think the frontline troops are frustrated. If you look at what's going on in the world right now, there's a lot of bad players, bad actors on the move, and we're showing our military that we're slashing aircraft, we're slashing troops, tens of thousands of combat troops, armor, ships.
Do you believe, Commander Willenick, that the basic soldier, sailor, marine knows this? No? Do you think they know it?
They absolutely know it.
How do they know it?
When you go to the front lines of training itself, you got guys, if you and I were going to try and get ready to go and prepare for war, we'd want to shoot a bunch of bullets, thousands of them. Well, when those budgets gets cut, those number of rounds that we get to shoot goes down, the types of weapons we get to use goes down, and we're just not as prepared as we should be.
All right, so you both concur that under the Obama administration, the emphasis away from the military is hurting the country.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
All right, I guess I put words in your mouth there, but we want to get to your book because it's very interesting. The headline of the book, Commander Babin, Extreme Ownership. What is the headline of this book? Why did you write it?
We wrote this book because we learned some tough lessons on the battlefield in the Battle of Ramadi, and very humbling lessons in combat. And the biggest thing that we learned is that leadership at every level of an organization is the most important thing, the most important factor in whether a team succeeds or fails. And so extreme ownership means that leaders at every level, whether they're in charge of just themselves and their little piece of the mission, or in charge of dozens and dozens of troops, or even hundreds, that they take extreme ownership of everything in their
All
role.
right, and you translate that into civilian life, that if you are working in a group, with a group in some corporation, what do you have to do?
Well, it's the exact same thing. I mean, leadership, whether you're out on the battlefield trying to capture and kill bad guys, or whether you're in a company trying to produce a product, in both cases, you've got a group of people, human beings, that you're trying to get to execute that mission in the most efficient and effective manner. And so leadership, whether it's on the battlefield or in business, is the same.
All right. Now, you guys are anachronisms, I'm sure you know that. Because we live in a soft society, a permissive society, where many people are addicted to their little machines. That's their whole life. Your guys are tough guys. You're hard guys. All right? So your personality would be shocking to a lot of Americans. Do you understand that?
Well, listen, that's what we need to project in the world as a nation. And I think if, for us and for the guys that we serve with, we realize that we don't want to have to go out and fight wars. We want our enemies to look at America and say,
but
we don't want to mess with those guys.
But it's the toughness that the Navy SEALs develop, and it's, we all know what the training is. You develop a hardness, a toughness that isn't really present in civilian society, is it?
And, when we go and work with companies, we're not trying to make them tougher. We're trying to make them smarter. Because honestly, the hardest thing about being in combat is not the physical task that you come up against. It's leadership. It's trying to get a bunch of guys to risk their lives to carry out a mission. And that is what the biggest challenge is.
So you have to motivate them in a certain way.
Absolutely.
And you show in the book how to motivate them by doing certain things, correct?
You have to get them to believe in what they're doing. And if they can understand not just what to do, but why they're doing it, they can believe in the mission, they can go out and execute.
And this is an editorial comment, you don't have to say anything, but I don't believe that President Obama believes in the military. I mean, he doesn't dislike it. He just doesn't believe that it's a force that I believe, a force for freedom and a force for, obviously, defense of the American people. Gentlemen, thanks for writing the book, Extreme Ownership, and we appreciate you guys coming in.